Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Indie Founder Podcast. My name is Tiago, I'm a bootstrapper, and this is the podcast where we dive deep into the bootstrapping world and learn the best we can about how to bootstrap successful businesses. Today, to help us with that, I have as a guest Dmytro. He is an indie maker and he has bootstrapped his company, ScreenshotOne, to 20k MRR. In this interview, we dive deep into very important lessons regarding how to reduce churn and how he was able to find his ICP and then start growing his company. For the first year, his company grew to 5k MRR, but for the next 2 years, he was able to quadruple that growth. I tried to really dive deep and understand the actions that he took to shift his business and defeat his plateau. I hope that you'll be able to as well learn from Dmytro and use his lessons to grow your own business. Before we start, if you like this type of content, make sure to give it a review. If you are on Spotify, just scroll up and give it 5 stars. And of course, share it with your indie maker friends. A new episode of the Indie Founder Podcast is available every Monday. Now, without any further ado, here's Dmytro. Hello, Dmytro. Welcome to the Indie Founder Podcast.
Hi, Tiago. Thanks for having me.
So, Dmytro, you are the founder of ScreenshotOne.com, which is a tool that renders screenshots in one simple API call instead of managing browser clusters and handling all the corner cases. This is your H1 from your website.
Yes, I think I heard it from somewhere.
Yes. So, my first question here is, how are your users using your platform? Like, give me a real case, like a use case of someone that is using your platform. How are they using ScreenshotOne?
It's funny. It's a lot of use cases. Like some of them you probably would never heard about, or me. Like I didn't know that these use cases could exist. But for example, yes, some simple use cases. Some people analyzing landing pages with AI, screenshotting, then finding some problems on the landing page and creating a list of potential leads. They can send cold emails, let's say some design agency, yes.
Okay.
And they automate this process, and then like analyzing the screenshots, they have a list of websites with problems, extracting emails, and then they send cold emails like, let's improve your UI UX on your website. We found these problems, this and that, yes. Or for example,
Okay.
also simple and obvious, any directory needs screenshots for websites,
Right.
yes. More complex examples. Some of the cool use cases I like is one of my customers. They deploy a lot of websites, and then before deploying the website with change, they make a screenshot, then they deploy the website, and then they make a screenshot and check the difference, and if there is any problem, they automatically revert the changes, yes.
Okay.
This use case I like because it can fit like almost everybody. Also onboarding, for example, if you're in B2B space, often people sign up to a product with emails, and what some of my customers do, they show onboarding, like in the onboarding process, they show a screenshot of your website, and somehow it makes people feel more, I don't know, like you're at home, like you're open the first page, like
More
you
welcoming.
sign up. Yes. You sign up to the website. I also provide fonts of the website, so you can probably customize your software like better for your like for the user who's signing up, yes. And some use cases I probably can't share because I don't know, like if it's private, if I can share that information, yes. But these are the public use cases that are known, and my customers
I
share
like it.
them.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I like this. I like this idea of automating cold emails and being able to
Yes.
go to their website, taking a screenshot and say, "Hey, I was just at your website and it looks
Yes.
amazing, but there's a few things that we can improve, And I got a few of those emails and it's interesting. That's definitely a
You
very
saw
interesting
them.
use
Yes,
case.
yes, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
So
yes.
you just reached this weekend 20k MRR. Congratulations.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Yes.
How long did it take to reach? this?
I launched my product in 2022 May 29. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's 3 years and 2 months together.
Okay.
Yes.
Fully bootstrapped, no
Yes.
VC, no
No.
investors, right?
No.
Building
No.
in public.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Yes.
incredible.
Nothing.
So tell me something. Did you think this was possible before 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Do you think it was possible to create such a big company with this,
No.
more than 200K ARR without any types of investments?
Mm, no. I probably it's also probably documented somewhere on Twitter. I probably wrote it, I don't know, 3 years ago or something. Like if I can't find 10 paying customers, I will probably go to work in 3 6 months, something like that. Yes, I don't remember like what was my like what like deadlines. Yes, but I remember that I my goal was just to find one paying customer, and if I can, then 10 and maybe 100. Yes, but it was uh, when I reached 10K, it was for me fantastic. Like incredible. Like wow, boom. And 20K is like okay, it's possible. And now I just don't know. Like, it just
Now the sky is the limit.
yes and no, in the sense that uh, I, I, it's probably a different topic to talk about. Yes, but somehow I lost not motivation, but like money doesn't resonate much past
I
like
see. Yeah,
past some
I've been
number.
reading your blog and I saw that you're having a little bit of those thoughts, and I do want to speak
Yeah.
about them. But
Yes.
before,
Mhm.
tell me about how was like ScreenshotOne your first project, your first idea, or did you try many things before?
Yes, I tried many things before. Like
Right.
if we take, for example, I don't know, 10 years, let's say, period from the moment I started coding. Of course, I tried a lot of
Okay,
stuff.
yeah. Though then you got definitely a lot of projects, but I know that you quit your job to focus only on your projects.
Yes,
So
yes. But
in
then
that period, was
yes.
ScreenshotOne the only thing you focus, or you tried other little things?
I basically tried. I only had time to try one thing. It was like Twitter analytics tool. If you remember this
Hmm.
early 2021
Yeah.
or 2022, I don't remember the year. It was people were building Twitter tools, scheduling
Yes.
and so on.
Yeah.
And I
You
decided
have
to
the
build Twitter.
famous one from Tony Dean, right? The Black
Yes,
Magic, was it called?
yes. Black Magic. I remember what else. Like mine
Tweet
was I.
Hunter.
Yes. But I was building before them. Like it was.
Okay.
There were some other people. Yes, it was this period, and I was building something simple. Like I wanted to track who replies to me, like I reply. How often do they reply to me? How often do I reply to somebody? Like to find some kind of math between relationships. I don't know, some nerdy stuff.
Okay.
And but I realized that I didn't have skills to continue this project because it required some. It's like it was a project about UI UX. It was analytics and charts, graphs, and I was like for most of my career I was an API developer. It's funny to tell that in retrospective, yes, but so I decided to abandon this project, and then I had like
Okay.
a list of ideas, and like most of them were API products, and
Mhm.
it's like for me, just at that time there wasn't AI and so on. Like there was kind of, I could pick probably, I had, I don't know, 5 10 ideas and so on, and I would say it was almost random, this one. I cannot, like, I would love to tell some beautiful story, like but it was something like, oh, this one looks a little bit complex and interesting, let's try to solve this one.
Yeah.
Yes, and then when I chose it and started to write build, I found so many solutions that already existed, and it disappointed me, of course. you know. But then, like, okay, but then, no matter what idea from that list I was choosing, I
There is
also
always, yeah, there is
yes,
always
yes,
competition, right? So
yes, yes.
how did you know that this was the one. I mean, that this was taking off. Like, what were the first signs that
I didn't
ScreenshotOne was
know.
taking off?
No, I didn't know. And till this day, I'm not sure it's
I mean,
this.
now you know,
Yeah.
right? Now you know.
Uh,
20K MRR is already some validation, I would say.
yes, it's validation, but in the sense that I don't know if it's like the work of my life, in that sense. Yes,
Of
but
course, yes, yeah.
but
But my question here is, uh, do you believe that? Because I do believe that the first projects, like, we never know what's going to work and what will
yes,
not work, right?
100%. Yes.
But once we find something, there's a kind of traction that is different, right?
Ah, yes,
So
yes.
suddenly people are more excited about this than other projects. So did you feel this?
Yes. It was some moment when I cannot attribute it to the number, probably, for example, let's say at 5K MRR, yes. But at some moment I realized, okay, like it's a pretty boring tool, but businesses need it because it is so like it depends on your use case. Yes, if you need to screenshot, let's say 100 websites, pretty simple. You can use. There's a lot of free tools you can build yourself and so on. If you need to screenshot only your website, some template, it's also easy to install. But if you want to screenshot like random websites on the internet, with all these banners, ads, and so on, there's a lot of stuff you need to do. Even when you have some solutions to that, you still need to solve a lot of problems. And I saw like real businesses, like big names using my product. Actually, I still didn't tell probably stories about my customers, but I feel a little bit, how to say it, like an imposter in the sense that I thought if I put big names on my product, people won't believe me. Like it's
Yeah.
impossible. Somebody solo. But I saw this, and that was one of the things that gave me belief, probably that okay, I
Okay.
can continue. And
So
another,
early on, you saw big names,
not early
companies,
on.
well-known companies using your product. Is that it?
Yes, like after 2 years, maybe. I don't know if it's early on. Yes, but before
Ah,
that,
only after 2 years. Okay.
yes. But before that, I probably can find even in my chats with my friends. I was talking about something. I probably need to sell it. It's only 5K MRR. I am doing this for 2 years. It's impossible. I'm idiot. People launching these products and making 100K in 1 month. I need to do something like that.
Ah,
So
that's
it was
interesting. So it took you a while to
yes,
get the momentum, was it?
yes.
So
It
after
was.
2 years, you were still at 5K MRR. Is that it?
Yes, something like that. 5, 8, maybe. Yes, I don't remember the number. Need to check. But yes, it was after 2 years. It was 5, I think. Yes, it was like
Okay.
5, 8, something like that. Yes.
So what do you think? What do you think was the problem? How did you fix that?
One of the problems was that I didn't. One of the biggest problems was I didn't intentionally worked on marketing. Like I was shooting shots, like trying different channels, paid ads, different platforms, social media, SEO, and I didn't understand who was my customer. Uh, like I didn't. It's funny because I already had uh, a lot of customers. It was maybe 100 something like that, 100 plus, and what helped me is I think that was the biggest driver in my growth is realizing like who is my customer,
Mm-hmm.
like who are they actually, like real names, companies, like and why do they need this product. And from that I realized, okay, so they probably can find me on this channel and here. They need me because of X, Y, Z. They can pay me because they find that valuable. I just need to find more of them. And from that point, I started to change my copy, my website. Like, for example, my headline, if you see it, it's pretty simple. The Screenshot API for developers. And then the second, how do you call it? Subheadline, yes. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost pretty simple. It's like, and I started to talk in the language of these people who I know need it. Yes, and I started to build features only for them and writing posts for them, like changing my marketing, my message, and like connecting more to these people. And okay, I saw, and then when I started to grow, like it feels like that was one of the reasons. Like it was
Okay.
like
Okay. No,
the
yeah, it
problem.
makes total sense. The question is how did you do that? How did you find like those customers? Because I can imagine that you have a lot of different customers from different walks of life with different use cases, right?
Yes.
What tell me, like, technically,
Mm-hmm.
how did you do it? Like, did you go through your database and saw like how they were using your
Yes,
tool? Did
exactly.
you
Oh,
like,
this.
yeah, tell me that these details.
Yes. It didn't happen like in one like moment. I just sat down, yes, and like analyzed everything, and boom, I realized it. No. First of all, I had a lot of chat messages, yes, like support. I was talking a lot, and when I had almost every support interaction, I it's my first or second question I ask, what is your use case, by the way? Yes, like, why do you use my product and how did you find me? I ask it anyway, since I have this analytics, I have this referral and so on, but I anyway ask people, I want them to tell me the story. And what is your use case? Yes, so this is was one thing. And when I had this 100 customers, actually, I don't want to brag that I have a good memory, yes, but I just remembered all of them. I was spending a lot of time thinking. When I realized I need to understand who is my customer, I was spending a lot of time thinking about them. And yes, actually checking like what is their volume, what is their use case, checking their company website, like in what niche do they work. For example, I noticed that people who do marketing agencies, companies, and so on, they tend to use my product more than people, let's say, who work in the law space. Yes, who like lawyers and
Right.
some kind of this stuff. Yes, I still have this kind of customers for some use cases, but I noticed that also these customers. In this space of marketing, for example, they paid me like they didn't care almost about money in some sense.
Right.
So yeah,
So
so
your
they
product is in a way more valuable to customers in the marketing space than in the law making space, or in the
yes,
law
probably
space.
yes, and and there is probably more demand. Like I didn't know. It's still for me kind of a mystery to realize how this economic machine works and why there is in some niche there is a lot of demand and some less.
Yeah.
But yes, but for this use case of marketing, so I realized, okay, they can pay me. They're happy also to work with me. I enjoy working with them. And then I realized, okay, so I can write a little bit about that. Added use cases on my website. You can see there is in the footer there is use cases, and you can see. I don't know, there are probably 6 use cases related to marketing. Then I started to write blog posts. Then I also started to write customer stories, like I was asking my customers from this niche
Yeah.
to tell
Like
their
case
story.
studies.
Yes,
Mhm.
like case studies. Yes, I don't want to call it case study because it was like it's a little bit of junior work, not that high quality story, with all these
Right.
numbers.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
recently realized I need to take numbers, like all metrics, and say like this is my solution. You raised your revenue and so on for by 20%. Yes, but it was just stories. How do you use my product?
Okay.
How does it help you and so on? So yeah. So it was actually basically I would say it was analyzing my customer base and realizing who is my perfect ICP, ideal customer profile. And by that I mean somebody who is willing to pay, who see my product as like who can get a lot of value from it. I enjoy also working with them because
Mm.
some niches, for example, I don't know, some niches I might not like to work with this, and
Right.
some people like you can like there is a lot of different people in different niches, and
Yeah.
I try to work with everybody, but I prefer, let's say, marketing. Yes, and
Yeah. Some you prefer more the others. It makes a lot of sense. Now, my question is, how do you after identifying that ICP,
yes,
okay,
yes.
you try to identify where they hang out, like how you could reach to them, right? Like,
Yes,
so
yes,
how
yes.
was
Like
that process? Like, how does one do that?
yes, yes. For me, it was like a lot of time I spent on like okay, this kind of customer. Like let's say like a real example, a small company, some
Hmm.
agency who is automating, let's say some Google Ads, something like that. They need screenshots for some reason, let's say, and they have 1 or 2 developers in their company, yes, and they could spend this time on developing their screenshot API, or they can just Google for some solutions, find something, yes.
Okay.
So that was how I like reverse engineered. But I also had Google traffic. I saw that people coming from me from Google, from
Right.
specific posts.
Mhm.
So I realized, okay, so I will see that there will be some developers searching for my product, and they probably work in this kind of companies. So I could write my copy and text in the way that could resonate with them, probably, For example, like it's just super naive and simple, yes, but as example to illustrate, yes, use my API to save the time of your company to deploy the product. I pay me $17. I will solve all these corner cases, boring stuff, and you as a developer write some core business stuff and related to a business and so on. And it seems to be a good deal till this day. Like people pay me pretty small amount of money for the value they get, and in some niches, yes. So
I like this. So you basically thought, okay, who are my target customers? Who is using? Okay, maybe developers. So let's put myself in their shoes and think, how if I was, well, you were a developer, you are a developer,
yes,
but
yes,
you
yes.
were
It
working
also
as an
helped me a
API,
lot.
right?
Yes,
So
yes.
how would I look for such an API? And you thought, okay, I'll go on Google. So now Google is so SEO is at the moment your main marketing source. Is that it?
I would say yes. It's one of the top. I would say yes. It's like
Okay.
one of the top
Okay.
channels. Yes.
So one thing that is important with Google is so actually, what works best for SEO? Is it Google like blog posts, like articles, or landing pages? Like what are the techniques? Like if someone was starting now SEO, what would you suggest them? Like do they do keyword research? Like what
Yes,
is this
yes.
process? What worked for you?
Oh, it's a good question. It's a good question. I would say, first of all, you need some simple mental model of how the search might work. Like you can read a lot on the Google official website. They post a lot about how it works. And my mental model was pretty simple. If I can satisfy user query and really answer to it in any possible way, it doesn't matter. But the goal is to make sure that the user doesn't return to Google and search again. Then Google probably will promote me more and more because
Right.
there is some kind of traction. They see that my page answered these questions.
Retention.
Yes, and sometimes it means a lot of surprisingly interesting insight that some people don't understand. In many posts, I provide a free solution, and my solution as an alternative to it. Yes, let's say you can use Puppeteer for screenshots, you can use Python, you can use C# and so on. Yes, like I try to solve their problem. They came to me to solve problem how to screenshot websites in Python. Yes, and I want them this post to solve this problem, and I try to help them. Like you can use this piece of code. Today you have ChatGPT, yes, but it wasn't. But before it wasn't. And second part of the post would be, let's say, you can use my API and showing how it's different from just using Python and all the stuff, managing browsers and so on. Or for example, even if you write comparison guide, yes, the worst thing that you can do is to not backlink to your competitors. Why? Because if you, let's say, mention 3 of your competitors, and people then returning to Google, like they read some of your competitors in your comparison guide, and then okay, I want to check this one, and they Google, and they return to Google. They even might forget about you. I don't know. Like it might happen that, or indeed they found your competitor better than your solution would be. So, if you have this kind of mental model that you need to satisfy and make sure they don't return to Google, that would be the first step for me, like to realize a little bit how it works. Yes.
That's very interesting. So you think, okay, I need to retain the user as much as possible, right? So
Yes. Yes.
that's the
Yes.
mentality. They get to my page, they need to stay.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
and how do you do that? Like, what are the techniques? Creating great content, right?
Yes.
Making
Yes.
sure that you understand what they're searching for. As you
Yes.
said,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
okay, I
Yes.
want something in Python, so let's give them something in Python,
And
right?
yes. Yes. Exactly.
What
And
else?
one of the things people like, there is a lot of stuff in SEO. I'm not an expert, but sometimes people tell, don't put a lot of links in your content, because if you put a lot of links, people will leave and page rank and so on. I think it doesn't matter, because if if they cannot find answer and they didn't link something, for example, in my post, they will go back and Google again, and Google might track it as like returning to the search and like losing, like probably my post doesn't answer. For example, if I write about Puppeteer in my post, it's better to link it so people can just open it from your post and not returning to Google to search for Puppeteer and forget about your website, or just, while they're searching, they might find some different stuff, for example, to solve their problem. And as I said, with competitors, yes, you backlink to everything, good content, satisfy, understand like this query, and a lot of stuff like page length, count of words, images, not images, do everything like as a mental model, yes, do everything you can do to satisfy the search intent. If you need for that images, put images. If you don't need images, don't put images. For example, some simple post with code snippet can work better than a lot like huge manual guide with explaining all the stuff and so on. For example, how to use proxy with Puppeteer. Puppeteer is a library in Node.js to render website screenshots. For example, you can write a huge guide about what is proxy, what is Puppeteer, or you can just put a piece of code, yes, and explain like in 2 lines, just do this and that and use this code, and that's it. And people will find it useful, and it will bubble up to the top. But except one other thing I noticed, that if you don't promote your website somehow, even on social media, like people need to find it somehow. This stuff about backlinks, I think it's true. You need backlinks and you need to work on that. But not every backlink, even, for example, I have backlinks from Google Chrome Web Store. It's DR90, do follow backlink. It feels like pretty valuable. But I'm not so sure it's super valuable, because if it doesn't drive traffic to your website, it doesn't matter if you have, you have this link from old post from New York Times, I don't know, from some pretty popular website. But if it doesn't drive traffic to your website, it doesn't matter. So it's better to have a link from some popular website and having also traffic from the website.
You think it doesn't matter because of Google? So Google will not, because it's not bringing traffic to your website, Google will not kind of promote it? Or it doesn't matter because it's just not bringing traffic?
I would say that probably better to say that, like, I would prefer links that can bring me traffic over links that just poor metrics, like in that sense.
So you don't believe in the whole domain authority and this whole like hrefs that allows you to grow your domain authority? That's not so relevant. Or is it?
Yes, I would say, not that I don't believe. I would say that I would say that differently. That you can gain a lot of results without even having high DR, high domain rating, but probably it correlates. Like, there is some correlation should exist, yes. But if you get a web link, but if you get, let's say, for my example, I never try to get backlinks from, for example, New York Times, because it's just some news website. It's not relevant to my niche. I don't know, I don't know if there is some transition of authority, some shift from authority from New York Times to my website. I don't know if I can get traffic from it. But my, my time investment, energy investment to get this kind of link will be pretty high. But for example, I got a backlink from Cloudflare. And that one feels pretty relevant. It's high authority website. And, it's like, it's also about development. And I got it on the page that leads to my website, and I probably get some traffic from it. So, like, this investment was valuable for me, founding.
So you're strategic with your backlinks. You think about backlinks in your niche, backlinks that will bring you traffic. Now the question is, how does one get a backlink from Cloudflare? What is the technique? How do you get your backlinks? How do you get your relevant backlinks?
I can say that this one I got like pretty randomly. It was an opportunity. I just jumped in. Cloudflare was writing about products that were using their who uses Cloudflare, yes,
Yeah.
And so I just submitted a form and but it was not just, I just, let's say, ScreenshotOne and this is Screenshot API. No, I tried to explain them that I can write about your product, about your platform. I can tell you a lot how I use cloud. So I try to be as useful and valuable as possible to them.
Yeah.
So, and they answered. They turned to me, and we had a call, and we talked about 30 minutes or 1 hour, something like that, about my product, about how I use Cloudflare and so on. And then eventually they wrote actually about my website, published on their Twitter account and so on.
Awesome.
And it was pretty valuable for me. And it's like, it's not a partnership in no way it's a partnership, yes, but still, like, some platform mentioning, some like solid platform mentioning your platform, it gives you a little bit more credibility, yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally. So at the moment, what is the number of visitors you are able to bring from Google every day, for instance,
from
every month?
Google, I would say from every month. It's not a lot, actually, it's not a lot, but it's pretty targeted. I think
Yeah.
it's from 5 to 8 thousand monthly visitors on Google.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Just
not a
like,
lot.
not a lot, no.
Wow. But most of your customers come from there.
Most of them, yes, but
So it has a crazy conversion, right?
from Google, it's much better from Google than from other channels. Let's say, for example, I just post something on Twitter about ScreenshotOne. People just click and see it,
Yeah.
and like, they don't sign up.
Because you
Yes,
also have 20,000 followers on Twitter, so you probably get some traffic from there too, right?
yes. I think how Twitter helps me, probably in another way. Probably because people recommend me on Twitter and because people mention me, then they search on Google. That's one of the hardest thing for me to understand. Like, what is the real channel? Yes, like, but I know a lot of customers who didn't know that I am present on Twitter at all. They found me just later, and like, followed me, wrote to me that, wow, you're so active on Twitter, we didn't know that. Yes, and they found me through Google. But I also know somebody who found me on Google, but they first time they heard about me on Twitter. So I think it's
So it's another
helpful.
touch point, right? So it allows to increase trust and therefore conversion.
Yes, trust, and probably like branded search. For example, if I write a tweet, like, I did X with ScreenshotOne without link, yes, and it worked this and that, and I built some cool feature. People often start search about ScreenshotOne in Google. What is this? Like, what is the link? Yes, and that, I think, that can help, like, to signal Google, oh, this product, this website
This
might
is
be
relevant.
interesting.
People are
Yes.
That's why
I,
sometimes when you release on or do a launch on Product Hunt, that also helps with Google. I've noticed that with PodSquiz. When we release and then we might not have even a good release, we are just not in top 5 or just, I don't know, position 5 or something, but it definitely triggers something in Google because our SEO grows after that. So there's some connection. So
some
one
connection.
thing that is so for 2 years, that's incredible. For 2 years, you didn't grow much, and then you switch you start focusing more on what is your ICP, and you thought, okay, they are there, let's go. And then, so basically, 15K of your growth has happened in the last year.
Need to check,
right?
But maybe something like that.
Roughly,
Need to check.
roughly.
Maybe 12, yes, but yes, it's the most growth happened recently. Yes, it's 100%. Yes,
That's incredible. Now, I want to ask you about something else, something that I noticed that you spoke about on Twitter, which is churn, right? So your churn is around between 7 to 10%. But you're telling me that you don't care too much about this high churn because these are from customers that are not really your target users, right? So tell me about how you interpret your churn, how you split it, and what has worked for you to reduce that churn.
Okay. Oh, it's a huge topic. I would say that the first most important thing in business is to get revenue, like, make that first dollar, yes, and the second most important thing is to reduce churn or increases the retention. It depends on how you think about it. Yes, it's like, but I would say I want to get to, first of all, 17% in the number of customers, yes, but much less in the number of revenue, and it helps a little bit.
Tell me what's the difference between revenue churn and customer churn.
let's say in this example, in my example, yes, for example, 7 to 10% of my customers churn. It's a lot. It's a huge churn. It's catastrophic. Yes, but this is the customers on the cheapest plan. Let's say $17. Yeah, something like that. So imagine 50 customers, $70. It's like almost 1K in revenue. Yes, for example. But having 10% churn in revenue, it would be 2K for me. Yes. So why does it, like, what is the relation there, and like what's the difference for me intuitively? Yes. So if let's say if most of my revenue had been brought to me by customers on higher plans, then and my revenue churn is small, I feel okay, because like I see that my revenue is growing and my target customers is okay. But this number of customers, it says to me, it also says to me, tells me some story. Yes, but I know that it's a small number because it's like they're on the cheapest plan, and I still want to attribute that somehow. I want to solve it somehow, but it's like kind of obsession, It's not, because when I had churn, like I started to collect churn reasons. Yes, for example, like is the product too expensive? Like I had some kind of questionnaires, super simple, and I had reasons like low quality product, some bugs, issues, and so on. And once I fixed all that, most of my churn reasons now is like my use case is not relevant, or I don't build a product anymore, something like that. Yes, and there is nothing I actually nothing can do about this. If, for example, imagine a customer, like, let's say, some indie hacker who's trying to build something, and then in screenshots they try to build, launch in 1 month, it doesn't work, and they abandon. Yes, the only way to fix this churn, two ways, yes, probably, is to remove the cheapest plan, and they will probably go to my competitors, or to make sure my product, they cannot find my product, let's say, on Twitter. But also, but I'm not
what's
sure.
the point on that, right? Because then you're just losing on money, right? Even if they are churning, they are still paying you, right?
Yes. So it's probably, if I wanted to solve it like as a number, like some, some like just math shuffling, I probably can do something like prepaid credits. You just prepay credits, and you probably will be effectively removed from churn, and I will have only this like customer base. So I would say that about churn, yes, there are churn reasons. So if you build a huge topic, sorry, it's like my brain explodes.
No problem.
I love
I'm
churn.
actually, let me just interrupt you there, because I have a question. So you said that your revenue churn. So what's your revenue churn?
Revenue churn probably something like 5%, from 3 to 5%, something like that. Yes,
3 to 5%.
It still feels for me high. Yes,
that's very interesting. Let me just recap that to make sure I understand, because this makes a lot of sense. So what you're saying is that, sure, your subscriber churn might be high,
yes,
but as long as your revenue churn is low, your business is still healthy, because it means that the ones that are actually paying you, paying you the amount you need to grow, those are churning less. The only churn exists in the like these customers that you're saying that they are not really your target customers. They are trying it out, but maybe their product dies or something.
Yes.
That's cool. And I'm also curious. So you said that you did this exit survey, and there were a lot of bugs, and then you fixed them. Did that affect this churn? Like, how much were you able to reduce the churn?
It's actually it's hard to say, because like because I did a lot of changes. Of course, I also worked on marketing. Like I tried new marketing channels. I worked on SEO, improving my old posts, writing new posts. So, and I was fixing. I saw drop in the churn when I was working on it actively, but then in the churn again, and then I analyzed, okay, who's churning? Like, what are the customers? And I noticed funny metric. It's like most of them people with Gmail account, like without work email. So probably somebody who is starting, but they don't even have a company product name or something like that. Yes, and people on the cheapest plans. Yes, it was for me. And then I realized, okay, so but is my ICP churning? Yes. Are they satisfied? Are they happy? That's what matters for me the most. And
Is my ICP churning? That's the question
yes,
one should
yes,
ask, right?
yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
like
yes.
that.
So, and so yeah, so that's my focus, and I still work on the background. I have ideas, and I work on something like, let's say, it's just really complex to rebuild on my product now, to do something like prepaid credits. I can do, let's say, for example, I can do something like pay me $30 for these credits, and you don't need to subscribe. And this way, I probably can reduce churn and also increase revenue, because I will get a little bit more revenue, but people don't subscribe. So it's like killing two rabbits from one shot.
Yeah, no,
It's like,
makes no sense.
yes, yes.
So
But it
you are
feels like,
alone. Yeah. You are alone doing this, right? So you do you have a team? Do you like? I know that you have a few contractors,
yes,
but
yes,
mostly
yes.
alone, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I worked with brilliant designer, and still have been working with the brilliant software engineer. I needed help with my marketing website. I wanted to redesign it, clean up, and so on, and I just didn't have time for this. I was focused on my product API dashboard most of the time, yes, and I needed somebody to help me with my marketing side, and I still need some help, probably less, but we redesigned it completely, improved a lot of stuff, a lot of problems, and so on. So yes, and
So
but
the interesting thing here is that you have wife, you have kids, you have a personal life, right? And
yes,
then you're building this, and you're doing everything, like any bootstrapper, coding, marketing, doing all of this. So how do you prioritize your tasks? How do you prioritize what to work? What is valuable for you to work on? What is the model that
I would like
other makers should follow?
I would like to sound smart there, but I'm not.
Just be honest, man. Just
I will
tell
be
us.
honest. Yes, yes. So um, it's pretty simple. If I have a support ticket, somebody asks me something, my customer, it's the top priority. Doesn't matter what I do, I just stop everything and I help my customers. Yes.
Mm,
So it's pretty easy to prioritize. I wake up, I drink a cup of, I like send my kids to school, kindergartens and so on. Then I drink a cup of coffee, read a book, and then if I have a support ticket, I just do it. If not, that's what I started to do recently. I really try to think like forward, let's say for a year or maybe 2 years, what I want to do. Yes. And just now I'm trying to kind of building some kind of vision, what I want, like in what direction I want to work. Yes. And from that, building some plan of my job. I just first day when I took day off, it was yesterday, I just didn't work and realized, okay, I probably need. It's in Israel. It's the first day, working day is Sunday,
mm,
so it's like my working week started yesterday. But I decided not
interesting.
to work. Yes, and I decided, I probably need to take this one day a week just for some strategic planning, some like what I want to do with my life, with my business, and so on. And that will be probably that's how I will work on that probably. Yeah, so currently, I have, let's say, if you say how I prioritize my tasks, it's probably three parameters. It's like
Hmm.
if I have support ticket, if not, then I have two ways to do my job. I do
Hmm.
something fun, but something that would help my customers. Let's say I can build some feature, write some piece of code that I wanted to write, or
How do you know? How do you know what will help your customers?
I have a huge backlog, like of feature requests, but but like I don't implement all of them. For example, somebody like I already had 4 requests for. My product is an API product, but people often ask me to upload files, CSV file, or like with URLs and get screenshots back, for example. Yes, and it was in my backlog, and now I feel okay. It's probably the time because people ask about it and so on. I probably need to do it. People ask about it often, and I find it fun now. Yes,
Mm.
And another way to, when I work, I just check my metrics, let's say number of visitors, conversion rate, churn rate, and so on. And okay, let's try to work this week on this number. Let's improve the number of visitors. Let's improve the number of, for example, month ago, I was working a little bit on fixing my SEO. Let's update all posts, let's check keywords and so on. Yeah, so let's improve this number, then this number.
Mm-hmm. What is in your dashboard? What are the main metrics you look every day? Or every week?
Yes, I would say once a month I check like all the numbers that I possibly can have, like, and just I usually write some kind of retrospective, and part of it I publish on Twitter. It's like my kind of build on public. Before that I was publishing all numbers, but I realized, okay, people only care about your MRR.
Yeah,
only,
that's true.
only your competitors care about your all numbers.
The rest of the numbers. That's
yes,
absolutely
yes. So I realized, but I check all numbers. Okay, my churn and so on. I see, okay, they're probably norm, like within the range. And then, but from day to day, I probably check 2-3 numbers. It's like I check the number of visitors. I check the number of error rate, because it's an API product input for me. If in case if I have some problems, I have uptime monitors. I will be notified about that.
Of course.
And of course I check revenue. I don't know. I disabled all notifications and so on, but still once a day I open this thing and check it. I don't know. It's like kind of habit.
Okay. Interesting. So fixing support tickets, then features, then looking to a metric and say, okay, let's try to fix this. Let's try to help it. I like that. I like that. And now you're thinking, okay, you're getting to this phase, and that's the last part also of our conversation, but I do want to speak about it, which is you're loaded, man. You have too much money, and now money means nothing. I mean, not necessarily like this, but I guess you're getting to this phase of, okay, I reached my monetary goals.
Yes.
What else? Like, what else is there? What can I do? Shall I sell it? Shall I keep building it? Maybe the motivation is not the same. So be honest here and tell us what is in your mind now.
Oh, it's a lot of stuff. Like, because it's actually it's like my current topic of the week, of the month, probably. Yes, like what's to do next. And so my almost like financial goals that I wanted to achieve, I achieved. I beat my salary. I am okay now. Like, I have huge expenses, like 5K, but I'm okay now with my profit minus taxes. So it's okay now. And I probably
that's something. Sorry to interrupt. That's something interesting that I forgot to ask. Because from this 20K, a lot of people, they say, "Hey, here is my MRR. I'm making 20K," but then they spend 25K in ads. So that's actually important. So you're saying that from your 20K, 5K are expenses.
Yes.
So you are able to take 15K to yourself, but of course
before taxes. Yes.
Yeah.
But then taxes, and then it depends. I still need to get like an average tax, but I think it can be something like 12, maybe 11 or 10K, something like in this range. Yes, something like that.
Okay.
But it's enough, like, for.
Of course, yeah.
Like, of course.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yes, I feel, yes. I actually.
I mean, it depends. It depends on the. I mean, there's people that spend much more than that, but I guess for the normal average person, that's enough.
Man, I don't like really. Except I want to buy a home. Yes, actually, someday. Yes, and it's impossible almost. It's like $1 million you need for that. And except this, like, I don't know what to buy with this money. Like, if you give me now, let's say $1 million, just give me, I will probably buy a home. If you give me 2 millions, I will probably invest this other million, because I don't know how to spend them. It's like you probably also have everything, like iPhone, everything you wanted to have. I don't know, MacBook, having time with kids, traveling sometimes. I don't know, like and this one of the problems. It's it's pretty privileged position to be, and I'm lucky. I'm super grateful for it. It's like. I'm super happy. Yes. So
no, but I think it's something interesting that you're talking about, because some founders, they do get there and they want to know, what's there more after getting your goals, your monetary goals, like what is next, what is your drive, what is your motivation?
Yes,
Because
yes,
believe
yes.
it or not, like, or I mean, everyone believes it, that like money is, even though it's not our main drive, that's not why we are entrepreneurs. And I know that you also spoke about this, that there's this like ego that you want to build things yourself, so that's part of it.
Yes, yes.
But
Also part of it, yes.
yeah, but a big part is, winning the game, and winning the game is making enough money to live out of it, right?
Yes,
uh
yes, yes.
so how are you going to solve this? How are you going to find your new motivation? Any ideas?
I will try a few things. First of
Okay.
all, one of the reasons I love Twitter is I ask a lot of questions and people give a lot of feedback. It doesn't mean that I listen to everybody. Yes, sorry if it like offends somebody. Yes, but I read almost every reply. Yes, and some people give crazy cool ideas, some ideas, and like I have before I get into depression, I have a lot of things to try. Let's say first of all, getting back to sports, doing my hobbies, yes, like health, all this stuff. It's like then spending time with my family, of course, traveling. I almost booked a trip and so on. And this is like some casual lifestyle stuff. Yes, it doesn't answer the question about like what drives you, why you wake up every morning. And but
I
I
mean,
know that
it does answer that a little bit, right?
yes, yes,
To
yes,
be
yes,
with family,
yes,
to travel, that's always good things. I
yes,
guess it
yes,
doesn't answer the question of professionally what you want to do.
yes,
Or
yes.
do you want to do something? Maybe you just want to retire. It's also possible.
Retired?
Just sell the
No.
company, sell it and retire and
I,
sail
I,
to the sunset.
it's a good question. It's another topic to talk. I got some offers, but let's say so. What I think about actually, I see that most of my like happiness comes from actually just helping people, like your customers, and working with people, contractors, for example, and talking to people. It feels for me that uh, like chasing the number was good and it's cool, and business is good and being cool is great and so on, building stuff. But I recently realized probably the goal is not all this magic stuff, but probably the goal is people, and all these numbers and all this stuff is just means to have access to some people and having time with them. For example, I really love talk to. Like I enjoy talking to you, but we didn't talk. Sorry, it's like it's only me talking. You're
No, we
interviewing.
have a
Yes,
conversation.
yes, but I would love to talk about actually. We still talk because I see reactions, yes, on my on also questions. But what I want to say that I want to talk with people. I want to have time with people, and that
You want to
probably will be
teach. You want to be a mentor. You want to
a
help
little.
the new generation of indie hackers. Is that it?
It's a hard one. I I don't feel I have enough credibility to do that. Yes, but I do. But I do want to help
You do.
people. Yes, you think?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, from this conversation, I think you gave a lot of valuable insights. So and that's the thing that I don't like too much about Twitter these days, is that the only thing that you see is people sharing their huge MRRs or being controversial or doing this shit
yes,
posting. And in the end,
yes,
the only thing I want to know is how to fix my fucking churn. Like, that's
yes,
what I
yes,
want to know, right? What I want to know is how to get customers, how SEO works. I
yes,
don't want
yes,
to see the others making millions and showing off that, like, I mean, sure, I'm happy for them, but I don't really care in the end. Like, I want to know, and these kind of things, this type of conversation we had, I think this is really important.
yes,
So,
yes,
uh,
yes. It's one of
and you
the
have a lot of
things.
knowledge.
Thank
Mhm.
you, thank you. It's one of the things. Like it's a bit, like attention in me. You can try to optimize for attention for algorithm, or you can decide. Like I realized that there are much more people who want to become an entrepreneur than people who launched the product, than people who had some customers, and then people who need to solve retention problems. So when I write content about retention, churn, it's like for 10 people. It's like, but still I think I find it interesting. I think we can talk about churn for 1 hour, 2 hours. I would love to talk about it. Yes, but it's super interesting topic, and that's one of the things I will continue doing. I think I will continue sharing. trying to extract these lessons that helped me and probably will help others. But what I wanted to say that I like spending time with people, and so probably I will focus on making my customers happy, making me happy also, yes, my family and so on, and that's probably it. I don't know, like
Yeah. I think
maybe
that makes sense. That makes total sense.
yes, yes,
Sometimes understanding what makes you happy, that's the hard thing, right? Like, but I think
yes,
trying
yes.
to be happy, keep your family and your customers happy, keep your wife happy. It's always
Yes,
important.
happy wife,
You
happy
know,
family, happy business,
exactly.
happy
Happy wife,
everything.
happy life. Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
If you have happy wife, everything
yeah.
is good.
Dmytro, was really nice talking with you. Thank you so much for all this knowledge you shared in the Indie Founder podcast. Tell us
Thank you, Tiago.
again where people can find you. I know that you have a website. What is it called?
Yes, it's called Dmytro. It's my name, dmytrocarson.com. Yes.
Okay, where
It's
you share a bit of your thoughts. You have a
yes.
blog. You have a
I
newsletter, right?
before yes. Before I post on Twitter, I usually post there, and there I post usually. I don't care about, for example, I can write about politics or economy or about this
Right.
stuff on my personal website, but on Twitter, I probably won't write about that. Like people, like it probably because in the bubble I am in, people are not interested in this stuff. It's like so. But on my personal website, I write about everything. Like I don't care. So
Okay.
it's probably the best way to find me, and also
Hmm.
just email me. Like my public email is dmytro at screenshotone.com. You can write me,
Okay.
ask me anything.
Hmm.
So and
And then your Twitter handle.
yes,
What's it
Twitter
again?
handle also Twitter. Yes.
It's
Twitter.
Dmytro.
The same. Yes, the same as my
Okay.
name,
Awesome.
Dmytro
I will
Carson.
also link it in the show
Yes.
notes of this episode.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dmytro, thank you so much.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
If you like this episode, let me recommend to you 2 other episodes from this podcast that I believe will be very interesting for you. The first one is episode 340 with Elston. He's the founder of Tiny Host, as well a bootstrap company with tremendous success. We touch on how scaling was hard for him and how he was able to overcome that. And as well, he shares alternative marketing techniques that I believe you love and you will be able to use as well in your own business. And the other is episode 334 with Rob Walling. He is the host of the podcast Startups for the Rest of Us. He's also a bootstrapper and investor. He runs his own fund called Tiny Seed, where he invests in bootstrapped companies. And we focus on a lot of the lessons that he shares on his book, which for me is one of the best books around entrepreneurship, called The SaaS Playbook. And one particular lesson that I really love is about pricing, how changing pricing can change your business. So make sure to listen to these 2 episodes next. Next Monday, there's another episode of the Indie Founder Podcast. Until then, have a great week.